Fanning in Hunt Showdown takes a pistol that goes pew 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 and makes it go. This trait checks both of the most important boxes, fun and useful. It's an easy way to make any pistol a deadly machine gun. If you stick around here, you'll learn how to choose the right pistol for you and what custom ammo makes sense for your playstyle. You'll leverage techniques to improve fanning accuracy and close the fight. First off, what is fanning? Fanning is the most cowboy thing you can do with a revolver. It's where you hold down the trigger on a revolver and pull back and release the hammer with your other hand. You've probably seen this in cowboy films, like Clint Eastwood in Fistful of Dollars. The trait costs 8 points and unlocks at Bloodline rank 13. A slow shooting pistol like this becomes a beast like this. To use it, when you have the trait equipped, pull out a single action pistol and hip fire it. You can actually hold the button down. You don't need to click for every time you want to fire. You can only do this while holding a single action revolver, which probably means nothing to most of you as it did to me before Hunt. There are two kinds of revolvers in Hunt, single action and double action. In order for a revolver to fire, two things need to happen. First, the hammer must be prepped and pulled back. And secondly, that hammer needs to be released so it can impact the bullet and cause it to fire. Each of these two things are considered an action. If pulling the trigger only does one of these things, that is, release the hammer, then it's considered a single action pistol. If pulling the trigger also pulls back the hammer and releases the hammer, then you have a double action revolver. These can't be fanned in Hunt, although in the real world, you can actually fan either style of pistol. The vast majority of revolvers in-game are single action. The only double action pistols are the Cadwell New Army and the Nagant Officer. Just remember to avoid these when you have the fanning trait. And for clarity, semi-automatic pistols like the Dolch and the Borheim don't work for this either. For the steep price of 8 trait points, why might you want to take fanning? Well, the most obvious benefit is to greatly increase your effectiveness in close quarters combat with. That rapid spray of bullets makes it hard for anyone to get the best of you within 15 meters. Assuming you can aim, you're only slightly outclassed by shotguns. And some players really like fanning for the extra benefit it brings when paired with certain special ammos. For example, poison ammo lets you melt bosses' health away. Or, if you plan on doing a lot of wall banging, FMJ is really nice to make sure you're going to be able to get through whatever you want. Well, you can take the spray and pray approach. That's not always the most effective. Even with all those bullets flying, sometimes it's more effective to actually aim. Keep these things in mind while fanning: spread, recoil, and control. Each pistol has a different spread indicated by its crosshairs. Some weapons, like the base Cadwell conversion pistol, have an extremely tight spread, and others, like the Cadwell conversion chain pistol, have an extremely wide spread. While a shot can technically fall anywhere within this pattern, it tends to favor being near the center, so accuracy isn't quite equally distributed across the crosshairs area. This means that even if you rely on spray and pray, aiming is still important. Even if a hunter is within the crosshairs, you're less likely to hit them if they're not centered. Take note that your spread changes based on if you're moving or not. If you stop moving momentarily, the crosshairs become tighter, reducing the spread of your shots. The trade-off is that standing still, even for a moment, could be a death sentence. Do this at your own discretion. Take note that, unlike normal hip firing, crouching does not improve your accuracy while fanning. So there's no need to take that movement penalty, because it's not really helping you. Each pistol and ammo type recoils in a different way. Compact ammo revolvers have very little recoil. But if you fan an uppercut, you'll end up looking at the sky by the time it's empty. The amount of recoil seems to be the most for the first shot and levels out after that. The direction of the recoil has some randomness to it. It always throws your aim upwards, but sometimes it's a little to the right and sometimes it's a little to the left. So while holding that trigger down, make sure you pay attention so you can compensate accordingly. With most guns, the first 2 or 3 shots are going to be consistently more accurate or at least easier to control. Consider practicing doing short controlled bursts to better manage your shots. It can also create opportunities to potentially down 2 people without taking the time to reload. This is up to you to read the situation. The first shot in a fan is the most accurate. In some situations, it may even make the most sense to fire single shots, like maybe with something like the uppercut. That way, you get the benefit of firing faster than aiming down sights, but you're sacrificing less accuracy to do it. Picking the right gun is important to getting the most out of fanning. There are a few things to consider. In addition to the recoil and spread, you should consider the fire rate, damage, ammo types, and other perks available. Some pistols consistently take out a hunter with just 2 shots. The Nagant has the lowest damage. A hunter with full health has 150 HP. With the Nagant, an upper chest shot does 91 damage, and an arm only does 56. So if you hit an arm, you're going to need a 3rd shot to finish the job. Likewise, the lower chest only does 70 damage, so you would need 3 lower chest shots to seal the deal. In contrast, the Cadwell Pax has the highest pistol damage other than the uppercut. Its lower chest shot damage is 85, which is high enough that an arm shot at 68 damage can finish off the fight. So picking one of the higher damage pistols could mean that you're going to need to land less shots to finish the job. Finally, consider the fire rate. A slower shot speed gives your opponent extra time to evade, move, or shoot back. So getting all your shots in quickly is important. Something like the base Cadwell conversion has an extremely fast fire rate compared to something like the Lamont or uppercut. So there's less room for error between shots. My community completed a series of surveys for a tournament to find out which was the best gun for fanning. Users shared a lot of thoughts on their preferences. If you want to see that, go ahead and subscribe so you're notified when it comes out. You may want to spice up your fanning with custom ammo types. What should you consider when you pick up an ammo type? First of all, ammo count. Most pistols come with enough ammo to fan the full chamber at least 3 times. This should be more than enough for most games, and if you've made it that far that you actually run out of ammo, it's likely there are some lootable hunters who would gladly give you their leftover pistol. To prevent running into ammo limitations, I try and make sure that the pistol I use for fanning has a different ammo type than my main weapon. If I'm bringing the same size of ammo, I make sure that I have a custom ammo on one if not both of them. Now, which custom ammo to bring depends on what you're looking to accomplish. The 3 that stand out are FMJ, Dum Dum, and Poison. FMJ is great if you like to wallbang. After polling the community, this was by far the preferred ammo type for fanning. It gives you more confidence that you'll penetrate whatever you're shooting through. It's especially fun with the Cadwell chain pistol, to blanket fire through a wall till you hit your target. Dum Dum ammo's bleed gives each pistol a little more killing power. This sometimes results in you needing 1 less shot to finish a hunter, or applying a bunch of extra pressure because they're bleeding without much health left. If you're using the packs with Dum Dum and get 2 arm hits at 68 damage each, your target only has 24 HP left. With intense bleeding, they have about 5 seconds to either start their healing or lose the fight. That's a significant amount of pressure, and some players may feel that it's worth losing your ability to wallbang. Poison ammo is mostly used just for AI. If you're taking this, you're probably using the silenced Nagant. It can down armors in 2 shots, grunts in 1, immolators in 1, and silently shred bosses. But it doesn't really give you anything meaningful for PvP situations, so take it with that in mind. Some guns have unique properties that may complement fanning well, like a melee attachment, a swift reload, or extra bullet capacity. The melee attachment can provide you with a great plan B if you happen to whiff everything in your chamber and need to run in to finish the job. Personally, I love the Scotfield Swift's quick reload. It lets you do a very quick reload at the cost of dumping any unused bullets that you have in your chamber. It's a great way to avoid being left vulnerable after your first round of fanning. Then, there are some guns with extra capacity, most notably the Cadwell conversion chain pistol. It holds 18 bullets, and the Lamont holds 9, at the cost of some compromises to the fire rate or accuracy. These let you throw lead down the range for longer, trying to force RNG in your favor. You know, the whole quantity over quality thing. Try out the different guns and get a feel for the advantages and disadvantages in each. The community holds the base Cadwell conversion pistol in high regard, but you should play around with the other guns to feel what fits your loadout and playstyle. Personally, the Schofield Swift is my favorite for its high accuracy and quick reload. Consider taking some time in the shooting range to find what pistol is your favorite. You can find them all lined up here in this area. You can grab the fanning trait and practice with each one. If you find a favorite, take some time practicing its recoil. A great spot for practicing this is over by the consumables. Stand here, facing that wall. Use the smaller brick here as your target. Then, when you empty your chamber, you have bullet holes in the wall marking where your shots were. This is a great way to get a feel and understanding of which guns are going to be more accurate and how you're controlling their recoil. Then, when you're ready, you can turn around and use the dummies here for some target practice. They're in the perfect range for practicing fanning at about 10 to 15 meters in range. Fanning is great at close quarters, but if a hunter is further away, you'll have to know how to lead your target. Click this video to learn everything you need to know about bullet velocity and how to hit your shots.